All right, in this section, we're going to learn how to draw a cylinder. Think of a Pringles can, a tall, narrow cylinder. They can be short and fat and wide, like a peanut kind of a can or a mixed nut kind of a can. But I'm thinking more right now of a, pardon me, of sort of a Pringles can. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to select me a rectangle. So I'm going to make the height of my cylinder first. There we go, tall, nice and narrow. Now we know that cylinders have a rounded top and a rounded bottom. So for that, we need to bring in the ellipse. So I'm going to click on the ellipse and I'm going to click and drag. There I go. I'm going to make this a little bit wider, more roundness, and we're going to inch that into place. Now I need to make one for the top, so I'm going to copy with the little plus sign over a object, and we're going to bring that up and into place there. There we go. Now, we currently are looking at something that is the illusion of a see-through or a glass cylinder. We don't really want to see all the way through this. We're going to put some gradient on this. So I'm going to highlight the bottom portion, and we're going to shape builder that together. I want to make this permanent, so I want to click on the top icon of shape builder, and we're going to drag to complete that. All right. Now, I am going to need well, let's double check here. I've got a little zigzag. Can you check that? See that out? All right. So we're going to see if we can fix that a little bit here with our direct selection tool. So I'm going to click on this guy and move him over. Look at that. Okay. I got a jagged edge over here. Let's click on that and see if we can't move that over. Nice. Okay, so that's where that little direct selection, moving anchor points around is super helpful. All right, so let's fill this with a flat color at the moment. We'll put something else in this a little bit later, but let's get something just basic in there, and we're going to take off the outline. Okay. And let's just make this a lighter version on top, since it is in the light area. It's getting light from the top. Pardon me. Turning off the outline. There we go. Okay, so there's our cylinder. It's got a light top and it's got a bottom on it. Okay, so say we have a little tiny light source up here. Here's my light bulb, right? Shining right up there. So light's coming from the upper left. I'm going to have a shadow over here to the right. So we're going to kind of do the same thing we did to build the bottom of the cylinder for the shadow. All right, what you tend to do, let's start with a rectangle again, and let's make this an outline for right now. Let's come back over and make this just an outline shape, and then we'll fill it in. So we'll make this with white. There we go, and black. All right, so here comes my rectangle. I'm going to draw a rectangle going out to the side a little bit here. Okay, the light's coming from over here on the left-hand side, so my shadow is going to go out to the right. This also, because the top of the object is rounded, I am going to need a rounded ellipse at the end of this as well. So I'm going to draw my ellipse. There we go. I'm going to move him on over. All right, we're going to connect those two together. We're going to merge them together with the shape builder tool at top, so it's a permanent connection. There we go. Now, done. This is what we want. We want this guy to start right here at the bottom center of our cylinder, right there. All right, and we're going to have this color be black. We did this with one of our other ones, cone, if you saw that one. Might help if I select. There we go. We're going for black. We're going to take the outline off. There we go. And we need to move this to the back. So I'm going to be on the stacking order, and I want to drag that guy to the back. Looky there. Okay, so it is now in the back. It is now reflecting the straight sides and the rounded top to our actual cylinder. Now we're going to throw on our gradients. So I'm going to click on my green color here, the side of it, and that means the left side of this needs to be a little bit lighter than the other side. So I'm going to use my linear gradient. Zoom in a little bit here, and I'm going to go for a lighter green over here, and then we'll put something here. We'll make it a little bit more green, and then let's see, I might move it over this way, and then I'm going to tap that stopper, and we'll make it a little bit more rich green, so we can even make this more white. Looky there. So we have this highlight going from light to dark, from left to right, okay? I think I'm gonna make this even a little bit darker over here on this stop. Let's go down a little bit more. There we go. There's a little bit more drama, okay? Interestingly enough, on the top of a can or canister, the reflection up here is gonna be more of a elliptical nature. So for this, we're going to do a radial gradient, and it tends to do opposites. Currently, the side of the canister is light to dark, left to right. Believe it or not, the reflection on top is going to go the other way. It's going to be lighter over on the far right side and a little bit less light on the right. It's not going to be dark, it's just going to be a little less. All right, so I'm going to start over here with more of a white highlight. Let's get a little minty white, and over here we're going to go just a little bit more green, but not by much. So notice how it's a little bit brighter on one side, a little bit less on the other, but not by much. I think I'm going to see if we can move that a nano bit. I don't know if I can move it over. Okay, so there is our cylinder. Back to the gradient on the ground for our shadow. Click here, gradient. We're back to linear again. Notice this, I can move this. We do want some sort of a grayish kind of a feel on the ground. It's going to get lighter. We want to make the value white at the end be transparent, because we want, I'm going to put it at 0, we want that to show through to the table color that we're going to put down. So let's check this out. Well, there's our layer 1 with all of our images. Let's lock that temporarily. Add a new layer. Bringing this layer down to the bottom. Let's pick a rectangle shape. Okay. Let's pick a solid color of some kind. Let's go for something more dark and rich. Okay, so we're going to click and drag. All right. There we go. Now, can you see how currently our shadow is currently being seen through the actual table? So we're going to come up here. I'm going to come back to this layer. I'm going to lock our bottom layer. I'm going to play with this some more. In the gray area, I'm going to come in on my gradient, and I'm going to tap another color there for gray, and I'm going to make that somewhat transparent too. Looky there. So we're starting to go from something more gray shadow into table color, right? There we go. So our shadow kind of begins to fade into the table space.